My name is Gillam. I'm the founder and director of my own company, Liquid Playground, which is a consultancy company for bars, brands and service. So I design and work with cocktails in the beverage industry to basically raise standards across the board, be it service or cocktails or spirit knowledge, just to overall a better experience. With all the competition that's arising now, various beach clubs and the general focus on beverage in the industry, I'm here to raise the standard and the quality of what we get here on the beach club. Just because we're in Phuket, great relaxing place, in a beach club, we should still be able to demand really good quality service and above all, tasty drinks. I'd always say yes, of course. It's very important that everybody always brings me in. Shameless self-promotion. But it shows a great focus from the management and the owners that they actually want to improve the standards of their drinks and their service. And a lot of people will spend a lot of time critiquing food and service and spas. But as you yourself know, of all the magazine reviews you read, not too many focus purely on the drinks. So by specialising in improving the drinks, they're basically taking a little chunk of that market just for themselves, because they can say, oh, we're bringing in these specialists from abroad to actually work with our staff, train our staff, and give the customer at the end of the day a better experience, which is what it's about. It's fun. A lot of people do it as a part-time job. I just clicked in the industry and found a little niche that I could exploit, I guess. I love food. I didn't really want to be a chef, and I found that I could basically do my own thing and specialize. And when I asked someone, I need to learn about tequila, there was no one I could really ask. And then if I had a question about rum, there was no one I could really ask. So I had to go away and study myself, and then realize, well, this is actually, people are now asking me because I'm apparently the guy that knows. So then it's like forging my own little niche in Korea. Pretty much everything is self-taught. I mean, I had a couple of guys in each bar or in each place who could teach me a little bit about that, and normally they were the white guys that got me hooked. But, how many spirit specialists do you know? I mean, sommeliers, yes, food specialists, but rum specialists, I know a couple, and a couple of whiskies. So it just became an ongoing thirst for knowledge that I had to keep chasing, and it's led me some pretty cool places. They've got to have a real curious nature, and not just for product and spirits, but for people. It's a very social industry. If you don't like always having to interact with a guest, or if you like times where you just be quiet, it's not really for you. You've got to have a lot of drive and energy, because it's not an easy job. It's day in, day out. When people are partying, you're working. So if you can take that and make it fun and really enjoy it, and stand out a bit, then yeah, it's a fantastic career. I mean, it's taken me around the world many times just because I really put some energy into it. So there's no reason why it can't with the new breed. And of course, the market is always getting bigger. There's always that new bar, the new club, the new hotel, and they need people. And it's not about creating robots who are always, hi, how are you? Sawasdee krap, can I get you a drink? No matter where you are, Singapore, China, not everyone is going to be the vocal guy or the vocal girl on the team. But what you have to do is obviously try and maximize it. Some people want a career, some people want a part-time job. But their role is to be part of this team and work. So the best thing to do is actually speak to them as well and say, well, what do you enjoy? Because for every guy that really likes talking to the girls or talking to the guys at the bar and making them great cocktails, the barback, he might really have a passion for making fresh syrups and liqueurs and stuff, which isn't the social aspect, but it's just as important. So there is a role you can find, I'm sure, that someone will find a passion for. And some people don't even know until they try it. They might be a natural cocktail maker, a natural bartender, a natural mixologist. Someone might be like a natural chef that doesn't even know it, and just has a skill with flavor that some people don't have. Ups and downs. I think the positives and benefits really outweigh the bad. I mean, again, it's not like choosing as I'm going to be a bar. Not many people I know, I'm going to be a bartender. You sort of fall into it. But if you can make it work for you, well, look at me, I'm sitting on a beach in Phuket. I'm from the Midlands in Birmingham, in Stourport-on-Severn. Not exactly a well-known place. It's where they make the Worcestershire sauce. That's it. That's claim to fame. And now I'm sitting on a beach in Phuket at one of the top resorts in the world, one of the coolest beach clubs in the world. And this is my job. So benefits, pretty good. What I like is the meeting the people, and I love to train, I love to teach, I love to see other people develop and rise to better heights. And then obviously I love to travel. I mean, that's why I specifically pushed this part of the career, because I love to travel, I love to explore. Really like 5-star hotels. So I like to live in hotels, but it also, it's not just for my own reason, it's the way I teach, the bartending style that I have is more suited to the 5-star hotels because of what my drinks entail. It needs a lot of backup from the hotel, in glassware and service and manpower. It's not the sort of regular little bar cocktails we make. We can really go to the nth degree, crystal glasses, using dry ice, liquid nitrogen. We can use all this. So it is more suited to this, but again, it's something that I prefer. I know some guys doing my job, they prefer nightclubs and the party and the big vibes. I'm more chilled out, but service. Dislikes, I think it's never from the ground up. It's never, moaning about guests or anything like that. They're great. The staff are great. Sometimes it's maybe management or further up, people that don't recognize actually the value that good bartenders have and that training staff and keeping staff have. Bartenders are always the first in, first out sort of staff, and I think, if you really invest in the bar team, they can up your revenue, they can up the ambience and the reputation of the bar. I was lucky enough to take part in a competition called Diageo World Class, which is like the global Olympics of bartending. It's not just cocktail, it's cocktail, service, creation, bottle serves as well, which there's a whole genre of how to serve a bottle and interesting things. And I took part and I won in 2010 the Singapore leg and then also Singapore and Malaysia. So then I took part in the World Finals, which was in Athens, in Greece, which is a week competition, so it is there, but I got to bartend with the current best in the world, and a lot of them I already knew from global travels, so it was like a get together. That was amazing. So there's two highlights. That was just brilliant. That's my industry. The other side was I did get asked to help out at a big food and beverage conference once, actually in Thailand. And that was to support a hotel group when their chefs were in town. So I actually got to mix for Heston Blumenthal, Pierre Gagnère, Daniel Balud, Richard Ekebus, Uwe Opolensky, just all the top chefs in the world in one place. And they were more interested in my drinks than I could ever imagine they would be. So that was a really good chance to meet some peers and some heroes in the industry and actually have a good Q&A session, and made you feel good about yourself when they're telling you you're doing a damn good job. I have a few, but as I mentioned to you before, the actual theory and the way I structure bartending, it's very hard to claim for me an original drink, because when you have that in front of you, it becomes quite easy. But I do have a couple, and they're actually very, very simple. So one of them is a chamomile whiskey sour, which is very simple infusion. Whiskey with some chamomile tea, a little bit of honey, a little bit of lemon. So it's not the most incredible, creative drink in the world, but I like it because I can make it in pretty much any bar I go, and embodies my theories on training and mixology. It's very easy if you understand that drink for the bartender then to create another 100 or 200 drinks based on that theory, and they then own that. It's theirs to take away, which, as I said, I like to see that instilled in people. You make it sound like I have a choice. It just pops in there sometimes. It could be anything. It could be inspired by flowers on a table. It could be walking past a market. It could be a dish I'm eating. Could be something I'm smelling. One of my big inspirations actually is Sir Paul Smith, a British designer, and his book is actually called "You Can Find Inspiration in Everything, and if you can't, look again." And that's the only way you can put it. If I have one of those minds that just soaking stuff up, a sponge, and the more you expose yourself to in all sorts of aspects of life, then the more you have that capability inside to just professional goals. I think, of course, there's probably going to be a bar at some point that I will call my own. But at the moment, I mean, it's like goals and ambition. I find this strange because it's hard to say I've got lots more ambition when I'm sitting in Phuket, at a really cool resort. So I'm very happy with what I'm doing now. I think maybe a bar at some point when I'm ready to slow down a bit and base myself. That's the thing, I don't want to base myself just somewhere yet. Personal, well, married already to a fantastic Singaporean. Well, I'm based in Singapore, so I'm very happy there. So I'm sure family will be along soon. So I think that's about it, really. Basically, more of what I've got now. A lot. I mean, for a while it was every new trip. You start off, bartending in one town, and then suddenly you get asked to go to London. Ooh, then you're in London. You do a special show in Paris. It's great. And then I remember doing the Hong Kong bar show in 2004. Was the biggest. You mean I'm flying from London to Hong Kong to talk about spirits and bartending? That's amazing. So that was pretty good. But then it became, I'm going to move to Singapore. I'm going to start working in Bangkok and Singapore and Jakarta. And then suddenly it wasn't just working in the bars, it was, I'm going to go to Mandarin Oriental, I'm going to go to XANA, Banyan Tree, XANA now, and all, it builds every time. Stay hungry, keep learning, stay away from the ego. It's very easy to become a superstar, bartender on the bar, and think that everyone that doesn't order your cocktails is an idiot. And the best way to do that is my tip for everyone, in fact. Remember, everybody that walks into your bar needs to leave happier than when they came in. I don't care if you're the manager, the owner, the bartender, the barback, the chef. That is your job. Whatever it takes, and you will succeed. That's it. That's simple rule.
Cool.